Hey, everyone. It's March 11th, 2024. We're back for our 31-day transitions journey. I had a busy day today, so I'm a little late with today's message. And it's heavy, guys. It's so heavy. Today, we're going to talk about denial. Denial is a very common emotional response that can have a significant impact on how we deal with the end of something or transitions, as we've been talking about. Understanding the role of denial is really critical because it helps us navigate changes more. Let's look at our 5 areas. So, first, understanding denial. So, the experts say that denial is a psychological defense mechanism that involves refusing to accept reality or facts, which in turn blocks external events from awareness. It also serves as a form of protection. It's protecting ourselves from the pain of acknowledging something that is distressing or threatening. Denial can manifest in a variety of ways, right? Variety of ways, forms. It could be ignoring the facts, minimizing the significance of what's happening, or rationalizing situations to make them seem less daunting. And I think you all will agree that we are all in denial about a thing or a person until we come to the realization that it's true, it's over. We kind of feel stuck. Number two, impact. Delay can, or denial, denial can delay the emotional and practical process that's needed to move forward. It also hinders our ability to deal with what's happening right now, our present reality, and make some adjustments for the future. With denial, we can really be stagnated, right? We find ourselves unable to let go, unable to move forward, missing out on new opportunities that allow us to grow and develop because we are in denial. So, the first thing we have to do is recognize. And recognizing really involves you to do some self reflection. Um, you got to confront yourself. And I will tell you that as a person, I don't like confrontation. I believe as an adult, if I'm supposed to be doing something, I should do it. I should do it based on whatever prescribed rules are in place, right? So at work, right, or on a project or whatever, rules are in place for a reason. But with denial, and you are not recognizing that the issue is an issue that's preventing you from moving forward, um, it holds you back. And confronting it is something that has to be done, and it's very uncomfortable. Now, one thing I will tell you, when you're having to confront yourself or you're having to confront others, you really have to exercise your emotional intelligence. And sometimes that requires you to get with a group of others, friends, family, right, that can help you work through it. But sometimes you need to get by yourself so that you can protect yourself from the noise. So acknowledging, then we got to accept it, right? Accepting reality in small, chunkified parts can make the process seem less overwhelming. I was teaching a let's just say to a group with a group, and one of the things I talked about with them was not overwhelming yourself by trying to do everything all in one day. Rome wasn't built in a day, and when you're dealing with complex changes, the evolution of the change is not going to happen in a day, so give yourself some grace. All right, so how do we move forward? So number one, we have to release the thing. When we overcome denial, it really clears the way for clarity. It clears the way to move forward to the future. It gives you the steps that you need to move ahead. So you have to set aside time every day to reflect on your thoughts, your feelings about those transitions, because it allows you to process it, and again, in smaller bites, and then be able to move forward. All right, what about some strategies? So, I talk a lot about support systems. I think that support systems have a time and a place. Sometimes the support systems can be louder than what you need them to be. And so, what I have found that's really helpful for me, journaling, reflection, right? Because a lot of times, what I'll do is sit down and just write my thoughts on paper to get them out of my head. I do a brain dump, whether it's thoughts, whether it's feelings, right? I write them down so that I could really go to sleep at night. The other thing we talked about before, mindfulness, right? Living in the moment can really help us deal with denial. It can really help you have a breakthrough as it relates to denial, right? And living in the moment, focusing on the here and the now rather than focusing on the past, because you're denying yourself the ability to move forward. I think something that's important to know, denial is natural, right? But it's also a counterproductive response to a painful ending. When you recognize and address denial, it's crucial for that growth. It allows us to move forward, to deal with those transitions more effectively. When you understand the role that denial plays in the end of something, it helps you take those proactive steps to confront it, overcome it. And that can be a challenge. To me, that's the hardest problem, hardest part, right? Confronting it so we can overcome it. But when we do that, it allows us to accept the reality, process any emotions that we have that's associated with it, and then ultimately moving forward. Well, guys, it's been a long emotional day. I think that's what happens when you're transitioning. But I'll see you tomorrow.